Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the final round of this season's Zwift Racing League. Drum roll, please. Promises to be a good finish. If you aren't aware, this course has a little bit of everything, and it's a scratch race, which means first across the line is the priority, basically, as is the highest position you can possibly finish, both of which help. So that's what we have in store for you this evening. Still got 13 minutes. We have some time to chill and chat and get warmed up, or, well, move the legs anyway. So the course tonight is user submitted. It is 32 kilometers, so it's going to be fairly short but fast, with 400 meters of elevation gain. The first 10 kilometers being pretty much as flat as they can get before we head into Titans and do it twice. Once from one direction and then turn around, and once from the other direction. So we have the shorter climb first and then the slightly longer climb second. It is my least favourite section of road, I think, in the whole of Zwift. So I need to retitle this video, Racing on my least favourite course. Well, I'm going to assume it's going to be my least favourite course. And the finish is, well, it's technically downhill all the way from the top of that last climb at Titans. It's going to be about 6 or 7 kilometres to the finish. And it's going to be slightly downhill. So anything that happens on that final climb might go to the finish. However, that final climb is not really super hard or hard enough to split the race into small enough groups that someone's likely to stay away. So it could be a bunch sprint at the end. I'm going to say it's probably going to be some kind of bunch sprint at the end. It might be a reduced bunch, but yeah, more than likely something like that. But a good chance to sprint. For me, good chance to sprint and see what I'm like in that regard. Fairly simple course, really. Not that hard to forget where we're going, given that it is an out and back. But there we have it. Good evening, Finn, Kev, Greg, Johnny, David, Andrew. How's things, everybody? I also don't think there's going to be much in the way of team tactics. If it is going to be somewhat of a bunch finish, then yeah, I don't think there's going to be much in the way of anything like that. I think it's more just a case of trying to be in position and then trying to do your best. Trying to do your best finish. Thank you for the good lucks. I will try and channel your watts, Ewan. See if I can get maybe half of your max power. Perrin almost got it going full send just after the rise before the finish. 1k out. That's worth knowing, but I know that's a tough way to go. Interesting to know though, as we could certainly look out for something. Not quite, Gregory. Just trying to stay warm. I haven't put my fan on yet, so just trying to stay warm. How's the stream? I've been getting some comments on previous, not actually live streams, but on the videos that I made recently that were covering some of the live streams I did, and people saying it was like I was streaming like using a potato, and that I need to upgrade my my streaming setup, or rather my PC. My PC is old now, but people have been not complaining, but just politely pointing out that it looks terrible. But then saying that, maybe, you know, I'm not the type of person that would probably notice, and because it's a game, like, I'm probably even less likely to notice, because like if I was watching like something real world filmed in 4K versus 1080, for example, then obviously I notice the difference. But like, I don't know, I think, as you say, where the problem begins when there's a lot of people about, and the Tour de Zwift is probably the peak of that, and just so happens that is the video that people have been commenting on. So it's probably not always the case. It's probably only when, as you say, James, at the start of an event, when there's a lot of processing having to happen, when a lot of riders are moving away, a lot of things happening. Probably more so. Yeah. Mic volume kind of low. Really? It's at the max. It's at the max. I can't really move the mic any closer, I'm afraid. I mean, I could talk louder. Okay, so now that I've mentioned that, it seems to me that the majority of you are finding not problems, but that there is things that I could change. But up until now, nobody's really said anything. So maybe a new M3 MacBook, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think I can stretch to that kind of budget, potentially. I do actually have a relatively new MacBook, but it's already my workhorse, and having it in here for the streaming setup, I wouldn't do that. Right then. I shall take it on board, though. Thank you one and all. Here for the watts, not the graphics. I appreciate it. But I do like to try and make it as appealing as possible. But I appreciate it. Oh, it's cold. Oh. Stay there. Thank you, Niall. Thank you, thank you. Wow, is $1,000 really budget friendly? It wouldn't surprise me, but just clarifying. Well, I'm wearing all black tonight. I need to look into that then, Philip. I need to look into that. Okay, 90 seconds to go. $1,400 watts. Let's channel it. I need to get to the sprint first though. Okay, here we go. Final adjustments. We've all been there. Okay, here we go then, folks. Last one of the series. Give us a commentary. So far, so good. Hey, nice one. Say hello to Nathan for me, if you're watching that stream too. Yeah, it certainly is a puncher's course, but is it a fatigued time trialist course? Is the question. So in other words, what will people have left in the last 5 kilometers? But given it's gradually downhill, yeah, this is a fairly fast course, I'd have said. If you look at our speed up to now. Well, thank you for tuning in over here, folks. I hope it don't let you down. Pressure. King Kong! I think there's a bit of a lag with my power. Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, that was lucky that I was in the breakaway there. because the way Philpott and a couple of others bridged, I wouldn't have been able to do those numbers, and I would be in the group behind right now. So lucky 13, we made it. Although it might well come back together anyway, but oh. Does anyone else? I definitely see there's a lag in my power. I feel like I see the group and I respond, but then I look up and it's taking a while to, and then I feel like I get dropped slightly. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Nothing's changed, I don't think. But any kind of lag is not good, because you could lose the group, plus you could lose the sprint, which I think I would anyway, but yeah, it's on 3-second average, but it's noticeable. There's a difference. Like if I can notice it, like it's always been on 3-second average, and I'm used to it, but something is happening tonight. Yeah, power drop then. I was out the saddle and it took about 2 seconds. See, I noticed I eased off there and my power actually went up. I'm having to think like 3 seconds ahead. Ooh. Scott, did you just give me a cake and then take it away? I can't believe you did that. Ah, no worries. That's like serving me a cake and then, no, you can't have any of the cake. Take care, buddy. I saw what you did as well on IG. Awesome. Hey, thank you, Lucky 13. Appreciate that. Ooh, good use of the anvil here, maybe. Yeah, Philpot. That's clever. Okay, let's go to the climb. Hey, thank you, Pulov. Thank you, thank you. Let's give it gas. Hey, thank you, thank you. Where do we use this anvil? I did well there. Proud of that. Didn't panic, but it was a little bit touch and go. No one's used the anvil, folks. Yeah, my gear changes are a bit slow as well. Virtual gear changes. So you're thinking save it? Do you mean use it actually in the sprint? Or do you mean use it like 1k to go, 1.5k to go, that bit where it goes down? Here maybe? Wow, my sprint is pathetic. Especially like that. I felt confident in the positioning, and then everyone came through me and I missed the move. But I think when I'm racing elite level, you can really see the difference between my sprint, like on the top level, because I never train it really. So it obviously I lose it very, very much so. My sprint was pathetic there, but generally it's better than that. But as soon as I saw the group going through and then I kicked, I knew I was going nowhere. So mentally, I just stopped and didn't give it. If I was in the mix there, it would have been a different story, but my timing was all wrong. Sprints are all about not just max power, but timing as well. And because I don't do them enough, not only do I not have the the training, the capacity there, I also don't have the timing. And so if I did lots of races that ended in sprints, I would get the timing gradually better and better, and I would know my limits. I would get a sense of how long 15 seconds was, how long 10 seconds was. But, obviously, when I go uphill, I'm like absolutely, I'm textbook. I'm like really good at Alp to Zwift, like pacing, long effort. I can hold myself like at absolute pain threshold for ages and ages, and it's obviously one of my strengths. But of course, you're gonna have weaknesses. It just so happens that the sprint, if I neglect it, is something that I just can't fluke. I'm not a Freddie Orbit. I'm not those type of guys that are good all rounders. Don't get me wrong. In the right situation, I can sprint, but it's a different situation when you're racing, elite level. You've got to know your place, and I'm not one of those riders that's just, magically good at everything. Well, not magically, because it does come with training, of course, and genetics. But I'm certainly, I'm certainly one that struggles. Always has done with sprinting, and that's fine. It's not the end of the world. You know your place sometimes, but it was a good course. I like that. It had a bit of uncertainty about it. I like the fact we had a breakaway go in. That was cool, wasn't it? That was good early on. And to be honest, that's the only real chance. When you have a reduced group like that, for me anyway. That's a good thing, but in the end it kind of came down to quite a large, reduced bunch, of course, 32 riders roughly, 40 riders, but I was, that's quite a large group for me to perform in with such caliber of rider, but still, we were there, we made it to the end, we had a good workout. And I enjoyed it. Yes, exactly that. I remember that when I was training my sprint for a while. And certainly you do see, if you don't do it often, you do see changes quite quickly. And worth pointing out as well that those type of changes, especially with short efforts, anything less than 3 minutes really. You'll also see the quickest decline when you don't do them. So it's something you really kind of have to do if it's something you're focusing on with racing anyway. And of course, it depends on the racing. But when we're talking about Zwift racing, particularly, that is something that generally is quite useful. But yeah, it was good. Tepo, yes, we had fun. We had fun. I hope everyone else had fun watching. I hope you did. I don't think that anvil... I don't think the anvil really did anything. I think a couple of folks used it in interesting places in that last like 7 or 8 kilometers, but I don't really know if there was a right or wrong time to use it. I think I kind of used it in the right place, but not really. I didn't really use my power to complement it, so I probably got the timing of it okay, but not the timing of my own effort. But there we are. There we are. Alright. Oh, it's getting chilly now. I need to switch this fan off. Oh. Cold, 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 cold. What was my... What was my peak there then? Oh no, lost it. Where's it gone? Today? Summary? Oh, this is including my warm-up as well, not my actual race, but... Doesn't really... I would have found out more from the... if I'd lapped it. Oh well. Oh well. Well then. We can end the stream there. Thank you so much for following along the series that we've been participating in over the last 6 weeks, was it? And you know, of course, shout out to the competition. It's been great to race at this level. Been given the opportunity to race at this level. Oh look, we unlocked the Danger Noodle route badge with restart. So thank you guys for the opportunity. Of course, still racing for backpedal, as we would say in the UK, your first claim or your second claim club. It feels you don't understand what I mean by that. Basically, in the UK, it's quite an old school thing, but you'd be a member of one club, and then you'd also be able to be a member of a second club or third club, and you could be first claim of whichever club you choose. And you would be able to be eligible for winning, club trophies, like time trial trophies, for example, in that club. So, like, first claim would be backpedal, second claim restart. But yeah, being able to guess for an elite team is awesome, and of course, many riders would have, well, they have been getting involved in more and more racing, and it's great to see people's progression through the categories, and eventually, maybe get a chance to race with a team at a higher level. And it's kind of an interesting thing, really, because it's kind of like, what you strive to do outdoors, but now everyone's got a chance of progressing, indoors with the likes of this type of racing, and and competing, like here with some extremely strong riders. So yeah, there's the breakaway early on. Just a lot of time spent, because that moment coming through Titans, it's a little bit difficult to stay in the group. There's a lot of ups and downs, so just keeping on the power, and then we got to the climb, made it over it. A couple of riders jumped across, closed the gap, and then eventually the two groups came together anyway. but then again we come back together for the final KOM, which I think we timed fairly well. It's a nice U-shape power graph there, U-shape in the power graph I mean, and I used the feather right at the end, and then our fairly mediocre sprint, which you can see our actual punch is not there at all. Usually for the first couple of seconds you can get a peak and then it will gradually drop off, or at least with me anyway it does. I don't really have much endurance when it comes to that peak sprint power. It peaks for a couple of seconds and then drops, whereas a lot of people can kind of hold it fairly flat for at least 5 to 10 seconds and then it tends to drop off. But yeah, there we go. There's the graph, there's the stream. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy your own race if you're racing tonight, and I'll see you